I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Be seated. Guthrie Public Works Authority meeting is called to order. Community announcements and recognitions. Evelyn Nephew, Mayor Evelyn Nephew, where are you at?
Right here.
You're first, please. You got 30 seconds.
I'll try to give you 2 seconds back. But good evening to everybody. Good evening to everybody.
Good evening.
All right, that's better. I just wanted to come here tonight to invite everybody who doesn't already have their ticket to join us for the 4th annual awards banquet of the NAACP. The theme is, we're all in this together. And it will be Thursday, August the 21st at the Guthrie Job Corps Center at 6:30. And our tickets are $25 per person and $140 for a table of 8. Now, we're going to recognize our Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Parade Committee, and that's a fantastic committee that puts on the parade every year. And they've done a very fine job, so we think it's just time to honor them for all that fine work. And so they've been there since inception, so we're going to recognize them. So if you want to get your ticket, you can see me or call 282-5039. Our mayor's going to be there, and everybody else can come. John, hold him up. We can do that. The next thing is to put you on notice now that the 17th annual General Daniels Thanksgiving Feast is on planning as we speak now. And so that you always try to look at your schedules. Start looking at your schedules now to mark that day, because you will be getting a phone call, and you can let us know what you want to do. And for those who want to volunteer, we would love to have you. I know, City, you've done a very fine job in the past. I want you to continue to do that fine job, and we'll see you there. How's that sound? Okay.
Thank you, Mayor Nephew. Appreciate that. We're going to start with Wes Allen. And Mr. Allen, if you'll notice on there, you have a 5-minute time limit, please, sir.
Yes, sir.
Give us name and anything about you want us to know, please.
My name is Wes Allen. I live at 8705 Lakewood Avenue in Guthrie. It's on the southeast corner of Liberty Lake. We've lived there since 1986. My wife's a longtime school teacher in Guthrie at the high school, and she's been trying to retire, but they keep calling her back. What I'm here to talk about, I believe, is a quality of life issue for us, and that is the duck hunting on the lake, particularly at that end of the lake. We know when duck season starts because we're awakened by the guns going off 30 minutes before daylight every day of the season. And we don't like it.
Yeah.
I'm sure if someone parked on your street and shot off a 12-gauge Magnum 50 times, you wouldn't like it either. And the duck hunters, apparently they shut down the lake, most of the lake, just for the duck season. Everyone else is out of luck if they want to go to Liberty Lake. And other than that, I don't have a lot to say. Except that the guns go off constantly all morning. And my house has never been hit with pellets. My neighbor's has. Jerry Richardson, he lives right next to me. And he's frail right now. He's retired, and so I'm retired also. But we do not like the guns going off and waking us up every morning. I'm hard of hearing, and they still wake me up. And it's not fun. It's not fun.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate your input. Paul, I can't read your last name.
Fincher.
When you get up there, if you'll tell us who you are and a little bit about yourself.
My name is Paul Fincher. I reside on Hiawassee Road. I own a couple buildings here in Guthrie. And we attended the park board meeting last week, and we got them to vote yes, all 5 of them. And I would like to see you continue the tradition of duck hunting at Guthrie Lake. It's been an ongoing deal for about 34 years, except for the time when you shut it down. And also, we only hunt until noon on that day, and the fishing people and the camping people can still fish there. The camping people, we're going to move the blind if everything's approved today, except for the handicap blind. We're going to move it over, and the other one we're going to move across the lake if it's approved with Mr. Biggs' approval in the location. And I just hope you let us continue doing it. We've talked about upping the revenue, so it'll help you make more money if you approve it. And also, you know, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife gave you some money to do the handicap stuff there. And before, we did a grant. And I'm on the board of regents for Ducks Unlimited in Oklahoma and National. And there's some grants out there that you could get. Also, the overtime that you've been paying Mr. Biggs with the new convenience store that you're putting in there, you shouldn't have to pay a lot of overtime because you have phone and access for safety there. And also, the Department of Wildlife could check the license along doing the regular hunting license. So hope you let it continue. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Fincher. Okay, item number 3, consent agenda. Council, I need a motion and approval to call for a vote on items A through F.
So moved.
Second.
Council, I have a motion and a second. Cast your votes, please.
All votes are in.
Show us the votes, please. It's unanimous. Thank you, council. Guthrie Public Works Authority meeting is adjourned. Guthrie City Council meeting is called to order. On the consent agenda, council, I want to pull item G for discussion, but I need a motion and a second to call for a vote on items A through F.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Council, cast your votes.
Can I interject real quick? I'd like to, on item E, there was an accepting of a grant, the amount of $17,961 from an anonymous donor to establish a mobile children and teen book collection. Obviously, anonymous is anonymous, and we don't know who that is, but what a wonderful citizen to do that on our behalf. I just thought that we ought to give some recognition. If somebody else won't do it, I'll do it. So therefore, I'd like to do that at this time. Thank you.
Second.
It wasn't a motion.
Thank you, Trey.
All votes are in.
Show us the votes, please. And it's unanimous. Thank you, council. Item G, consider approval allowing waterfowl hunting at Liberty Lake for the 2014 season as recommended by the Guthrie Park Board. You've heard from Mr. Wes Allen and Paul Fincher. Lake Patrol Officer Gibbs, if you will give us a brief discussion, please.
Absolutely. Again, my name is Anthony Gibbs. I'm with Lake Patrol, City of Guthrie. I will definitely be brief. What we should start out with, I guess the City Council had really charted a course. You guys have charted a course to make Liberty Lake a premier vacation, staycation location for Central Oklahoma. That overall course eventually would not include duck hunting based on what was decided. It was a matter of time as to when I had to come forward and tell the Parks Board with a heavy heart, I just think that we've hit that time. And again, that's what I did during the last meeting. And I won't go into all the specifics unless you, of course, have questions for me. However, some of those tasks that I based that on, or as far as that task that I based my decision on, would be cost versus revenue, including man hours, the hunter's use versus other lake users, such as day use, fishing, camping, hiking, bike riding. The ordinance actually states that camping shall be closed during that time, so the entire season. Just to let you know, that season will run from, end of October through mid-January. We are, and I'll get to that in just a second here. So other things, rules compliance, ongoing park construction projects, which is a big one, and then overall impact on closing the park. We are making huge leaps toward fulfilling what you guys have set forth as a vision for that lake. It's been amazing. The amount of people that's coming out there, the traffic, and so I won't go into all that just because of my time limit there, but because of that, we've built a momentum. And with that momentum, I had to say, based on everything there, that duck hunting would end up being a negative for us starting this year. It would end up actually take away from our overall vision. So with that said, I'll open it up to questions. I think that's about as short and sweet as I could keep it. Yes, sir.
What's the revenue?
Total overall year revenue?
What does
Ducks.
duck hunting
Duck hunting.
create revenue-wise?
Assuming that there's 12 blinds, at $400 per blind, that would be $4,800 total.
And how many campers and other activities does that impact during the duck season?
Sure. Every annual day use pass that has been purchased, it affects them. I hear, and again, this has been one of those things where it was kind of on a balance scale. And, how much complaint did I hear? I'm hearing so many more times, I can't go out there in the morning, which is the best fishing. You'll hear other people say that evening is the best fishing, but at any rate, so on and so forth. I can't go out there, yet I've paid for a pass to use this all year long, and I cannot use it for those months, and that's when I can go out, is in the morning. I can go out and boat. I can't do that. We hear campers saying, guys, you have cleaned this place up. We're just about to open the area that'll put our new 60 campsites in. We'll begin, hopefully, with the approval of the budget, we'll begin a bathroom process that will start in October. So we'll have bathrooms, heated water showers, that kind of thing, be really neat. And so we will be available for year-round camping as well. And so we'll begin to see, again, this vision unfold.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
When he talks about moving those blinds farther away, will that move them away from the houses that are there? Will that move them farther west, or is it still going to matter?
It won't affect what Mr. Allen was discussing with everyone down in the Oakwood edition. Matter of fact, the noise will still be there for them. It wouldn't really be advantageous for us to necessarily relocate for the purposes of camping, because of the fact that our ordinance right now at least
It
states
says you cancel it.
you
Yeah.
can't camp
Okay.
at all.
How much development is occurring to the south, new development, south of Liberty Lake? Is there new development occurring down there, or is that
As far as
new home development?
new home development, actually, yes, they've opened that up. At least 12 and a half acres was purchased, I know, a couple of months ago. They just put up for sale another, whatever the balance of 160. So there's, as far as new home building, I know the one project that's just southeast of there has hit a snag in that large house, but there's definitely some things moving. They know that the county intends to pave Coltrane from, I think it's Simmons, up north to Seward. And so there's been a lot of development kind of exploding in that area.
And then down Elm Street? Just teasing.
Yeah.
All right. Any other questions for Officer Gibbs?
Do we know how many day passes we sell a year?
Unfortunately, I don't. I don't know the actual number of annual passes. Unfortunately, I think that would end up being the treasurer's office.
Can you get like a guesstimate, like in the tens and the hundreds and?
400.
400
We
people?
hate saying a number if we're not sure, but
How
I'll get
much
that
is
to
a
you.
day
And
pass?
I'll get that to you tomorrow.
How much is a day pass?
How much does it cost?
Yeah.
I guess I'm a little confused why the Parks Board would approve or would go ahead and approve it while, you don't think that it should be approved.
Sure. I can make a guess based on what I heard before I had to leave that night. I had to get up and kind of share the news. Went through as quickly as I could on all the fine points. And as I had left, while certain people were talking, they would ask me questions for point of clarification. Very shortly in that, I had to leave there afterward. They also didn't have any other residents there that were coming out to say, listen, this is a problem. When you hear from 4 or 5 people that say, we really want this, listen, there's things we can do, and you don't have the person that, I got called away on police business, I had to leave. I couldn't fill in the rest of the information. Plus, there wasn't anybody there to be able to say that, hey, this really is a nuisance. It's not just me talking. So, my sole decision, basically.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I know that in the past, the council's position is to revitalize the Liberty Lake project and to really start making it a family-friendly atmosphere. And I know where you're coming from, so I appreciate your efforts and comments.
Sir.
Anything else for Officer Gibbs? Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is there anybody else that wants to share anything with us?
That's the vision we've had.
Okay, council, I will entertain a motion. And hearing none, it just dies.
Well, I mean, I'm going to make a motion. I'll make the motion. At least we can have an up and down vote on it. Either to approve or not approve it, because I think it needs at this time. So I'll make the motion to consider approving of allowing waterfowl hunting at Liberty Lake for the 2014 season as recommended by the Guthrie Park Board. I think we should at least be accountable to vote.
Second.
And I'm going to clarify that was a motion to approve?
That's how it's written in the or in the.
Yeah, generally you make
agenda.
motions in the affirmative even if you don't support the
Okay.
motion. So a
All
motion
right,
to,
council, I have a motion and a second. Cast your votes. Show us a vote. And it's unanimous across the board to go ahead and cease with and not allow duck hunting at Liberty Lake. Thank you, council. Number 3, discussion and possible action on ordinance number 3259, setting the requirements for mobile food vendors to sell on public property inside Guthrie city limits.
Per discussion in our last workshop, this is an effort for us to continue to remain business-friendly to the business movement that is happening in our community. You can see food trucks coming in as a regular basis. After our discussions in our last workshop, we request that you approve ordinance 3259, setting the requirements for mobile food vendors to sell on public property within the city limits.
Council, I need a motion and a second for approval.
I move for approval.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Cast your votes. Show us the votes. And it's unanimous. Thank you, staff. Number 4, city manager's report.
Just want to, and Mary might be hitting a few of these, but the Alley Cat party that happened Saturday night was fantastic between Harrison and Oklahoma. We want to thank the people that put that together, including Justin Fortney. There was also a art show at Hancock Creative Shop called The Shopper, which was magnificent. Mary, I'll let you finish up Make Guthrie Weird for Saturday night, but that's at 7:30. I want to let you know this morning the OWRB approved, Oklahoma Water Resource Board approved the forgivable loan in the amount of approximately $700,000 to Coil to furnish water. We had to go back to that board today for approval, and so we're thankful to the OWRB and a forgivable loan. Additionally, if you have any questions about the sales tax election, we urge you to take a look at cityofguthrie.com for any facts that you would like to have. That's all I have, Mayor.
Requests and comments from members of the council. Mr. Thomas.
I was just going to say the same thing she just said is we've got election coming up for the sales tax. I want people to go inform themselves and to come out and vote.
I don't want to see 300 people vote on this issue. I'd like to see a lot more people vote on it to take a stand one way or the other.
Mary Coffin.
Okay, a couple things. Pollard Theater will start Friday. They'll be showing the 25th annual Putnam Spelling Bee. That's a musical that will run through September. Make Guthrie Weird will be Saturday. And then, of course, Evelyn spoke about NAACP tomorrow. Or Thursday.
Yeah.
Wendell Edwards.
Wendell Edwards is a guest of honor.
Okay, that
Keynote
keynote speaker, Wendell Edwards, and that will be Thursday at the Job Corps Center. Really, the farmer's market's still going on every Saturday from 8 to noon. We appreciate your support. The next thing is in a couple of weeks, the Logan County Free Fair will be going on September 3rd through the 6th. So support your local 4-H people. I think that's all I've got.
That's it? Mr. Wood?
All I have is I'm excited to say that the Lions Club raised about $2,000 at our annual fish fry last Friday. And so that's going to go to 2 individual high school students at the high school, so $1,000 scholarships. So I'm happy to say that I was part of that, and so was the Lions Club. And so it was kind of exciting to see us raise that. Around 280 citizens showed up for that. So we're always excited that so many people show up to raise money for scholarships, and then how many Lions volunteered. So that's all I have.
That's it? Ms. Paget?
Thank you. I too want to thank the anonymous donor for thinking of our children and teens and offering that book collection. I think that was great. And a special thank you to Anthony Gibb for his enthusiasm in helping promote another venue for our city. That's it.
Mr. Taylor?
I'll second what she said, and also, if I'm not mistaken, tomorrow's the first day of school, as I saw in the paper yesterday, and...
Because you don't have a kid in school.
I don't have a kid, mine's in college, and she's enjoying it. Also, if you're going to speed through the school zone, I believe these gentlemen back here will have you a nice little piece of paper that they would be more than glad to hand out and give to you, so you might want to kind of get the lead off the feet and kind of slow her down a little bit, watch those kids. I know they've been harping about that at the post office, so we're trying to watch the little kids. A lot of them are already out right now running around, so that'd be something just to be careful about.
Yeah, I'll just take 5 seconds to, we've got our boys in blue in the back here, and just appreciate all their efforts. I don't know, we don't always get the opportunity to tell you guys what a great job you do, and we do appreciate you. Thank you, and don't give me a ticket tonight on my way home. That's why I'm kind of throwing that one out there for you. But, no, seriously, in all seriousness, thank you for what you do every day and every night. Appreciate you guys.
You're welcome to write him a ticket.
That's it.
Once again, school starts, and if I understand it right, they're all starting at the same time, ending at the same time. So I'm going to give you a heads up right now, Noble around Division is going to be messed up. And it will not be the traffic signals, it's just the fact that. So if you have to go through there at 2:45 to 3:30, go some other direction. It will be a mess. If I understand the proposal right for the flashing yellow signs and the school crossing deal is going to be basically maybe an hour before school starts to half an hour after it's over. That's kind of what you're looking at. I understand out at Cotterill on the west side, they come and go every time you turn around. So that one's flashing off and on all day long. So be real careful out there. And then Fogarty always has those big trucks going down that highway, and it's got a stop sign in the middle of the street during that time frame. So pay attention. Those little kids for the first few days are not going to be paying attention. All right? Get out and vote. This is important coming up, and get it done. This coming Friday is a Job Corps' 50th anniversary. 9:30 in the morning is when it starts. They're having food, they're having everything else out there. So if you're wandering around, make a show. Get out there and have a good time. But that's Friday, starting at 9:30 in the morning. And number 6, we are adjourned.